Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our last day at the Twin Cities Film Fest. I'm Tiffany Norton, your red carpet host for the 2023 Twin Cities Film Fest, and I am talking next to the director of COVID Confessions, Alec. We were talking a little bit before we began, and I want to know more. I know that you are the director, but this was also a project that was kind of conceived by you, correct? How did that come up?
Yeah, I was having conversations with a few friends who were in some really volatile industries in the first year of the pandemic and was realizing their stories weren't being told in a way that felt like it was honoring them, allowing to reflect and really processing what they'd been through. So started filming a couple interviews because I thought it would be a short film, and 335 interviews later, here we are with 40 different episodes highlighting people across the state.
Well, I will say that the trailer should come with a little bit of a warning, a little bit of a trigger warning, honestly, because, I mean, man, it's 2023, right? It's been 3 years. I'm watching it this morning in preparation for our little chat here. I thank God I hadn't already done my eye makeup. Honestly, I started tearing up and crying thinking about hearing the stories of the nurses, but also I'm a performer. We were all, everybody here, it's Island of Misfit Toys and performers, and everybody got just all of a sudden, you're done. And what's of most of our backup work? Bartender, server, service industry. So the fact that you were able to get health workers, healthcare workers, and the artists together, what do you think that added dimensionally?
Yeah, I mean, I think, first of all, it was fun because it was so organic. It was really whose story is not being told, who am I seeing a lack of coverage for? And I think there's power in showing this grounded parallel in humanity between all of these different industries, but also being able to really uniquely highlight the struggles of each individual industry. I mean, we had theatrical artists. We have a whole episode on theater performers and directors. We have a whole episode on adult entertainers who are doing burlesque and that style of performing. I mean, there's drag performers. There's so many intricacies within the realm of performing. What does that mean? And so to kind of have them juxtaposed next to each other, it just adds this, I think, really intricate, intimate depth to the pandemic that I think we've all kind of disassociated from now in 2023.
Right. Well, and what I noticed too was some of the sentiments that were expressed by the healthcare workers were expressed in almost the exact same works by the people that were working frontline at the grocery store. It was just as brutal for them. But there's not the parade, right? We're not hanging signs out. Anyway.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And so we have to come together, and this is a good way to foster those conversations. And what did we learn? What did we learn from this? What did you learn from this project?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, not only, it was a passion project, so I self-financed it, and I was shooting, editing, producing. I mean, I did all the things because you have to at that level of indie filmmaking. Yeah. And so I learned a lot as just a filmmaker and a storyteller, but I also think for me, it got me through the pandemic. I mean, I really think that for me, being able to talk to all these people, though distanced, in a time of such isolation really helped me get through that first year, which was difficult for everyone. But I think being such a social person, I think it was saving for me in many ways. And I think the episodes we have here today on filmmakers and festival organizers are also motivating because I got to talk to people in my industry and got to find camaraderie during that time with other artists. And so, for me, it means a lot, and I've learned so much from it in many ways, but I'm very excited to see what people think today.
Well, and that's kind of the thread this year that we're seeing at the Film Fest, too, because we had a screening last night of a film, Showdown at the Grand, which was also inspired. I was discussing it with Orson, the director and the writer, and that was originated from the pandemic and from the closure of independent theaters and the silence of independent voices. So thank you for highlighting that, especially on a local level. And Alec Fischer, okay, are you ready for the big question? Now, this is the really important question. They know what I'm going to ask you. I actually told you what I'm going to ask you. Yeah. All right, let's say this starts a movement today, right now. We start a movement, Alec Fischer, someone wants to make a movie of your life. Who do you want to play you?
My usual answer, just because we look kind of similar, is Colin Jost from SNL.
Sure.
However,
I love him.
I do too, but I've got to say, I think, just with trajectory and everything, Jacob Elordi, I think, would be interesting, because after Elvis, Alec Fisher is the next obvious person you should play,
I mean, if he really wants to challenge himself,
right,
and play an icon, that's what I say. Alec, thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your wonderful project with us. It's screening today at the Twin Cities Film Fest. COVID Confessions, thanks so much. And we'll be back at the red carpet in a little bit.